Well, good morning. Welcome to AM Northwest. Let's dive right in, okay? From Portlandia to a new show starring Geena Davis. Portland is buzzing with TV and film productions, and here to tell us more about what's coming up, we welcome casting director Lana Veenker. Nice to have you here. Always good to see you. Let's talk about this. How many television shows, movies are currently in production in Portland right now, in Oregon?
Well, there's 3 TV series going on.
Yeah.
In this last year, we had several feature films. We did a pilot for FX. There was I was down in Ashland in November. They had 2 films shooting at the same time in that city. So there's a lot of production going on.
There's a lot of stuff here, and a lot of people may think, well, that's great. It's good for tourism. It showcases Portland, but as an economic driver, as a stimulus, it's huge, isn't it?
It is huge, and that's one thing. I mean, with all this economic bad news, film has really been a success story. They just did a study, and they found out that in 2011, the film industry brought $1.4 billion in economic activity to Oregon.
It's a billion
amazing.
with a B.
With a B, yeah.
And that's money that comes from other parts of the country, spent on hiring local crews, spent on location shooting, everything else, right? Lodging,
yeah,
you name it.
And you know, down to tourism and spending money in the restaurants, the little shopkeepers that have props or costumes that they can buy. It's just been an economic boom for everybody.
Yeah, in fact, I imagine when they've got to buy things like plants or they've got to buy furniture, they buy it or rent it from local companies.
Yeah, I talked to a local nursery that's been renting plants to one of the local TV productions, and the great thing about that is that they come and they drop like $1,000 on plants, and then they bring the plants back, and then they rent them back again a couple days later. So, you know, they had to bring on more employees. It's just been fantastic. In fact, what's happened now is that our film incentive program has been so successful that it's actually tapped out.
And the film incentive program, for people who may not be familiar, this is a tax incentive for productions to come here. Explain it a little bit.
Yeah, it helps incentivize productions to come and choose Oregon over some of these other states that also have film incentives, like Louisiana or like Vancouver, BC, New York, Georgia. And so we have a very conservative program compared to a lot of states, but because we have so many other benefits in Oregon for shooting here, such as the great locations and the easy flight from LA, we've been able to attract a lot of production here. And we're looking now at maybe doubling the program, which would bring even more jobs.
I would imagine the fact that we don't have a sales tax is really big incentive.
That is a huge incentive, because that makes it even more attractive. And you know, we have great crews here, we have great talent, so they don't have to fly actors in as much as they would to some other locations around the country. So it's been great, and the governor's proposing now to double it. So we're really keeping our fingers crossed, because you know, the film office is fielding 1 or 2 phone calls a month of productions that are ready to go, greenlit, want to shoot in Oregon, and they're calling up the film office and saying, how much money do you have left in your film program? And they're like, we got nothing. And so they're going to other places like that.
I would imagine there's a ripple effect there when somebody like, say, Dean Devlin, who produced Leverage, goes back to LA and talks about working up here. It incentivizes or inspires other producers to bring their production here as well.
That's right. The people that have come here and worked here have loved it, and they've gone back and they've kind of been our ambassadors. So they're spreading the word, and I was at the annual film office meeting, and there were people there from HBO and from all these other networks, and if we had had money in the program, it would have been a feeding frenzy that night for productions that wanted to come here.
Well, we got to get more of them here. Now let's talk about the big buzz is Geena Davis. We all know Geena Davis, Academy Award-winning actress. A new show that's going to be shot here. The pilot will be shot here?
Yeah.
Now, what can you tell us about the show?
Well, it's a bounty hunter drama starring Geena Davis. It's for TNT. They're starting pre-production in March, and it's supposed to shoot at the beginning of April. So,
and now, is this a show that's being produced by the same people who did Leverage?
Yeah. It's Dean Devlin's production company. It's a lot of the same team. So for us, it's just like, it's almost like a continuation of Leverage. And they even have another project they want to bring here after that. It's a feature film that I have to be a little cryptic about. But they're talking about bringing that sometime later in the year as well. So they definitely, I mean, they're committed to Oregon. They want to bring more stuff here.
What's better for the local actors and the local economy? Is it movies or is it television productions?
Well, it's both, because, I mean, for TV, it's a nice steady paycheck, because, like, for example, on one of the shows we work on, you know, we're employed like 9 months out of the year just with that show. But film production is also, you know, it's great. It's great for actors, you know, like once you've been used on Leverage, you know, it might be a while before we can use you again.
Yeah, but the checks keep coming.
But the checks keep coming, that's true.
They're very nice, too. They're like a little surprise. It's just like the, you know, the residual fairy. Hey, look, well, because I've known you for a long time, and I know that as this built up, your office, your company, you exploded. I mean, you've got more staff. You're busier than ever.
Yeah, it's been huge, and you know, I've even been able to take the word overseas a little bit. I just got back from Berlin Film Festival. Everybody there knew about Portlandia. Everybody there knew about Leverage. And people are finding out about Oregon. It's becoming, you know, it's a tourism boost.
Well, and the network that carries Portlandia is also doing travel tourism Portland commercials, right?
They are. They've realized that, you know, some people might argue whether or not it's presenting Portland in the way we want to be presented, but it's definitely generating interest in the city, and they've found it to be beneficial.
Oh, look, we've had a bizarre history in this state of all kinds of dilemma and trauma, Tanya Harding. So I think Portlandia being the face of Portland for a while is not so bad.
It's great.
Not at all. All right, so good things coming, and as you say, the money for incentives might be doubled?
Yes, we are working right now to get the governor's budget approved, and if it does, it's going to double the incentive, which is going to double the amount of work coming. In fact, we lost so many. Falling Skies, that's on TNT, they wanted to come here. That was a $25 million project. It's shooting in Vancouver, BC, because we didn't have the incentive. Monday mornings, that was written for Portland.
Yeah.
Shooting in Los Angeles because we didn't have the incentive. So I mean, there's so many. I could go on and on.
It's set in Portland, but shot in
LA because we
California.
didn't have. So you know, we want to see this. This industry expand. It's great jobs for college grads. It's high tech. It's green.
Oh, and internships too for college students. There's a lot of benefit there.
Yeah, we've brought on interns from like the Art Institute and other schools around town. People are getting in, doing visual effects and stuff like that, coming straight out of the schools.
Yeah, it's very good. All right, well, you keep up the good work. All right, you're a good ambassador, and everybody enjoys it. Thanks so much.